Hi everybody, it's Becky with Life Keys Energy. Welcome to tonight's restorative class. For tonight's class, you will need 2 throw-sized blankets or 1 bolster, and you will need 2 yoga blocks or 2 large books, just something that will help lift the floor up to you, preferably the same height. So let's go ahead and get started coming into Sukhasana, heels in line with the groin. Starting to rock side to side, feeling the sit bones connect to the earth beneath you. Coming into just a little bit of stillness here. Bringing the shoulders up to the ears, waterfall the shoulder blades down the back. And start to imagine there's a string on the top of your head pulling you just a little bit taller. If it feels safe, close the eyes, and if it doesn't feel safe, just lower the gaze down to the ground. Taking the next few moments, start to notice where that breath wants to go today and where that breath doesn't want to go. And opening up tonight's practice with some 5-3-7 breath. So taking a deep breath in through the nose and a full exhale out through the mouth. Breathe in through the nose for a 5 count. Hold the breath up full for a 3 count. And exhale out through the mouth like you're breathing through a straw for a 7 count. Inhale 5. Hold 3. Exhale 7. Inhale 5. Hold 3. Exhale 7. Continuing with that. Finishing up whatever round of 5-3-7 breath you're on. Coming back to deep yogic breathing. And bringing the hands to heart center, pressing the thumbs into the sternum. Take a moment to set a sankalpa or an intent for today's practice. This is your practice, make it personal. Exhale, release the hands to the knees, drop the chin to the chest. Inhale the ear to one shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, ear to opposite shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Continue with this, let your breath start to carry you. When the ear finds one shoulder, go ahead and leave it there. Bring that same arm up and over, adding just a little bit of pressure. And walk the opposite hand away from the body, lengthening the scalenes. Walking the hand behind the body just a little bit more. Inhale, lift up, switching sides, bringing the chin to the chest. Inhale the ear to the opposite shoulder. Bring that same arm up and over, and walk the opposite hand away from the body. And walking the hand behind the body just a little bit more. Inhale, lift up. We're going to interlace the fingers and bring the fingers back behind the occipital. Elbows open up super wide. Keeping the back straight, drop the chin to the chest and add just a little bit of pressure on the back of the head. Taking some deep belly breaths here. And then around the back, look down at the belly, adding a little bit of pressure on the back of the head. Breathing in here. Inhale, lift up. We're going to take these same interlaced fingers, push the palms away at shoulder height, round the back and look down at the belly button. Finding that stretch between the wings. Inhale, lift up, rolling out the shoulder blades. We are going to open up in a supported balasana. So maybe you grab your bolster or maybe you grab both your blankets. So for both your blankets, you'll want to have them in a rectangle shape. And then we'll just layer one on top of the other and roll them together, making a little burrito. So Balasana works on the low back and hips. So there are some options when we come into this pose. We are going to be in this pose for 10 full minutes. So we'll want to make sure the body is very supported and comfortable. So my first option for you is to take one block on the Papa Bear level, that tallest level, and put it in the middle of the mat. Bring the next one on the Mama Bear level, that medium height, and make a little ramp for your burrito. From here, our toes will come together with the knees out super wide, bringing that burrito in between the thighs. We'll lay the belly down and turn the cheek to either side. This is option one. If this isn't going to work for you, if that's not super comfortable, maybe just take the blocks away and come into a supported balasana. Same pose, toes together, knees out wide. If you're somewhere in between those two, you can play with just playing with one block and seeing what height fits you. But coming into some stillness, coming back to the breath, hanging out here for 10 full minutes. If you find that your mind is really busy right now, come back to the breath, noticing the breath on the inhale, noticing the breath on the exhale. It might feel good to turn your cheek to the other side to stretch out both sides of the neck. Stay here in Balasana. Come back to that breath. Coming back to that breath. Noticing where you feel the inhale. Noticing where you feel the exhale. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Bringing the hands back underneath the shoulders, push yourself back up to a seated position. You'll want to have both your blocks handy. And we're going to take our blankets or our bolsters and bring them lengthwise down the mat. So coming flat onto the back, any way that you get here, we're going to bring our burrito or our bolsters right next to the side body. For me, it starts about my waist and goes down to mid-thigh. Opening the arms out wide like a T. You're going to bend your outside leg, so the one that is not touching the blanket. We're going to cross that knee over, coming into a reclined spinal twist. Now, for some of us, this isn't going to be super comfortable, and in this class, we want you super comfortable. So maybe you grab a block and you slip the block under your knee and add a little more support that way. Know that your block has multiple heights here. You can also stack 2 blocks. Maybe it's this back arm. Maybe the back arm isn't resting comfortably on the ground. You can take your block or your book and rest your hand on it that way and lift the ground up to you. Either way, no matter what kind of ways you organize your props, you should feel completely supported. We're going to be here for about 8 minutes on this side. Closing the eyes if it feels safe, coming back to that breath. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Or roll over onto our backs, moving slowly, hugging both knees up to the chest. Keeping that long spine. And slowly release the legs back down to the ground. We'll take our bolster or our blankets from one side and move it to the other. Maybe grab your block. Extending the leg down the mat. We'll open the arms out wide like a T. Bend the outside knee and bring the knee back over onto the burrito or bolster. And once again, maybe take a block and add some support under your knee. Maybe support your arms. Kind of depends on what your body needs tonight. Slowly deepen your breath. I'm going to unwind, coming back onto the back. Hugging the knees to the chest one more time, keeping that spine really long. Taking a few deep breaths here. And lowering the feet back down to the ground. We're going to grab our block, just one, or a book. So when I teach, our blocks have 3 levels: baby bear, mama bear, and papa bear. Papa bear is going to be super intense regardless of how flexible you are, because we're going to hold it for so long. My suggestion is everyone starts at the mama bear level and adjusts up or down from there. So with the knees bent and the heels underneath the knees, we're going to put the weight into the heels, lift the hips up, and slip that block right underneath the hips. Take a moment, re-parallel the feet, walk the shoulder blades down the back. I'm hanging out here in a supported bridge pose. We'll be here for a little over 5 minutes. Coming back to that breath. If your lumbar area, that low back, is pinching here, try putting the weight in the heels and bringing that block to the baby bear level. If on this mama bear level you're not getting any opening in the hips or low back, maybe try the papa bear level, but like I said, this is really intense to hold for over 5 minutes. Slowly deepen your breath. Putting the weight into the heels, lift the hips up, remove the block, and come back onto your backs. Taking a moment, hugging the knees back to the chest again. Maybe rocking side to side. We're going to rest the feet back down onto the ground and grab both of our blocks. Bringing the blocks or books side by side, we're going to make a little platform. From here, we'll put the weight back into the heels and slip both blocks on that baby bear level right underneath the hips, side by side. We'll straighten both legs and bring the heels out as wide as is physically comfortable. From here, the arms come up overhead, coming into a pose we know as starfish. Opening up the hip flexors. This is our final pose before Savasana. Taking some deep breaths here. Slowly deepen your breath. Bending both knees, planting the soles of the feet onto the ground. Put the weight into the heels, lift the hips up and remove the blocks. Coming back flat onto the back. Take a moment, hug the knees to the chest for the last time tonight. And then extending the legs back down the mat. Walking the shoulder blades down the back, palms facing up. Final resting pose, Savasana. If your low back is bothering you while you're laying flat, maybe grab your burrito from earlier in the class and slip it underneath the knees. Coming into a supported Savasana. Our final resting pose for practice tonight. Slowly start to deepen your breath and start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Bring the arms up and over the head for a full body stretch, taking up as much room as you possibly can, from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes. Rolling over onto one side, pausing there for just a moment. Bring to mind one thing that you love about yourself, one thing that you're grateful for right now, and offering yourself just a moment of gratitude for taking time to practice tonight. When you're ready, and only when you're ready, push yourself up to a seated position with hands at Undulate Heart Center. And I leave you with these words from page 153 of the She Book, Volume 2. You knew what you were getting into. Not a wading pool, no shallow water, but the depth of the open ocean. Not a candle, no flickering flame, but a raging forest fire. Not just a memory of pain, no experience in vain, but an epic book of you. Because you chose the depth and the fire, not a wading pool and no flickering flame, you knew what you were getting into. I am so grateful for the opportunity to practice with each and every one of you. I hope you leave this practice feeling just a skosh better than when we started. The light in me so very much honors the light in you. If you find value in this practice, please share this Zoom link with your friends and family. We do it every Wednesday night. If you haven't checked out Patreon or the website in a while, I invite you to come hop over to both. The website's lifekeysenergy.com. In the meantime, be kind to yourself and be kind to others.